The rain poured heavily that evening, drenching the streets and the hearts that walked them. A young man named Arav stood outside a cafe, holding a single red rose, trembling not from the cold, but from hope. Inside, Maya, dressed in elegance and confidence, sat scrolling through her phone, barely noticing him approach. "Will you be mine?" Arav's voice cracked, sincere and nervous. Maya looked up, half smiling, half pitying. "Arav, you're sweet, but look at you. You can't even afford your own umbrella." Her words hit harder than the rain. She stood, left a faint perfume in the air, and walked away, leaving him behind, soaked in heartbreak. Years later, destiny had plans neither of them saw coming. If you believe kindness still exists, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Heart-Touching Stories, where every story touches your soul. 7 years passed since that rainy evening. The world had changed, and so had Arav. Gone was the shy boy with second-hand shoes. In his place stood a confident, well-dressed man in his early 30s, the new regional director of a multinational company. Hard work, sleepless nights, and heartbreak had carved his path to success. But deep inside, a quiet ache still lingered, the memory of a girl who once said he wasn't enough. That morning, Arav's assistant handed him a file. "Sir, a new marketing manager is joining today. Her name's Maya Sharma." Arav froze for a second. The name echoed like a ghost from his past. Maya Sharma, he forced a small smile. "Tell HR to send her in when she arrives." Moments later, the door opened. Maya walked in, dressed in a crisp blazer, her hair neatly tied, confidence radiating from her. But when her eyes met his, the world seemed to pause. Arav," she stammered. He looked at her calmly, emotionless. "Good morning, Miss Sharma. Welcome to the team." The air between them grew heavy. She blinked in disbelief, searching for the boy she once knew. But the man before her was someone else entirely. "Why, you're the regional director." "Yes," Arav replied, flipping through a file without looking up. "I hope your experience will be valuable to our department. Let's keep things professional." Her throat went dry. "Of course, sir." Over the next few days, Maya tried to act normal, but every meeting felt like walking through a storm of memories. The way he spoke, the way he carried himself, everything about Arav reflected strength and quiet pride. He was polite but distant, professional but cold. One afternoon, as they worked late, Maya gathered courage. "Arav, can I talk to you for a minute?" He didn't look up. "It's Mr. Mehra in office hours." She sighed softly. "I didn't mean to hurt you back then. I was young, foolish." He closed the file and finally met her eyes. "You didn't hurt me, Maya. You taught me something important. That love without respect is worthless." His voice was calm, but his eyes, they carried years of pain. Maya's heart sank. "I didn't mean it like that. I was just what?" He interrupted. "Practical. Realistic. You wanted someone who could give you comfort, not struggle beside you." Tears welled up in her eyes. "Arav, please." He stood up, walking toward the window. "It's strange, isn't it? The people we once begged to stay eventually have to teach us how to let go." The silence that followed was thick with regret. Maya turned to leave, but before she reached the door, Arav said quietly, "Let's focus on the project. The past doesn't matter anymore." She nodded, though her trembling hands said otherwise. Over the next few weeks, Arav continued to treat her like any other employee. But Maya's mind was a battlefield of guilt and admiration. She saw how kind he was with his team, how he helped a junior who made mistakes instead of yelling. This was the same man she had called poor. Late one evening, Maya stayed behind, pretending to work. When everyone left, she stood outside Arav's cabin, watching him through the glass wall, his eyes tired, yet his focus unwavering. He was still the same kind soul, only stronger now. She whispered to herself, "You became everything I wanted after I left you." And for the first time, Maya realized she hadn't rejected him because he was poor. She had rejected him because she was blind. Days turned into weeks, and the tension between Arav and Maya lingered, silent but powerful. Every meeting, every shared glance carried 1,000 unsaid words. Maya tried her best to focus on work, yet her heart ached with every passing day. One afternoon, a major client presentation was due. Arav and Maya were to lead it together. It was their chance to prove the strength of their department. but also the biggest test of their emotional balance. As they rehearsed the slides, Arav noticed Maya struggling with the final segment. He sighed, stood beside her, and adjusted the presentation layout. "You're missing the emotional connect," he said softly. "You have to feel the story, not just sell it." Maya looked at him. "I used to think emotions made people weak," she said bitterly. Arav gave a faint smile. "And I used to think love could conquer everything." Their eyes met, a moment heavy with history. Then he turned away, pretending to focus on the laptop. The next day, during the actual presentation, Maya was nervous. Her voice trembled slightly at the beginning, but as she looked at Arav sitting beside her, calm and confident, she drew strength from his presence. Together, they delivered a flawless pitch. When it ended, the client stood and applauded. The deal was a massive success. Back at the office, everyone celebrated. Laughter, cheers, and congratulations echoed in the room. Arav thanked his team sincerely, but when his gaze met Maya's, there was something unspoken in his eyes, pride, perhaps, or forgiveness. Later that evening, after everyone left, Maya walked into his office holding 2 cups of coffee. "Thought you could use one," she said gently. He hesitated, then accepted it. "Thanks." For a while, they sat in silence, the kind that feels both heavy and peaceful. "Arav," Maya began quietly, "I've watched you these past weeks, and I realize I never truly knew you. You're everything I once dreamed of, but I walked away because I couldn't see beyond the surface." He looked at her, his expression unreadable. She continued, tears brimming. "You didn't deserve the way I treated you. I was foolish to measure love with money. I thought success was about luxury, but seeing you, I know now it's about grace, resilience, and kindness." Arav leaned back, sighing softly. "We'll all make mistakes, Maya. I made mine too, chasing success just to prove my worth. But healing doesn't come from proving others wrong. It comes from forgiving ourselves." Her eyes widened slightly. "Have you forgiven me?" He gave a gentle, almost tired smile. "I did the day I stopped waiting for you to come back. That broke her." She covered her face, sobbing quietly. "I wish I could turn back time." Arav stood and walked toward the window, his voice calm but filled with emotion. "If you could, would you choose me then?" Without hesitation, she whispered, "Every time." He turned, his eyes soft. "Then learn from it. Don't repeat it with someone else. Life doesn't always give second chances." A silence followed, painful yet healing. The next morning, Maya submitted her resignation. When Arav read the letter, he wasn't surprised. He walked out to find her standing by the elevator, eyes red but smiling faintly. "So this is goodbye?" he asked gently. She nodded. "You deserve someone who saw your worth before the world did." He extended his hand. "And you deserve peace." Maya. She took his hand, a brief handshake that carried a lifetime of memories. As the elevator doors closed, Maya whispered under her breath, "Maybe in another life." Arav stood there for a long moment, staring at the reflection of his own journey, from heartbreak to strength. And for the first time in years, he felt something close to peace. Sometimes, love doesn't come back to stay. It comes back to show how far you've grown. Months passed. Arav continued to rise in his career, yet his success no longer felt like revenge. It felt like peace. Every time he looked out from his office window, he remembered the boy who once stood in the rain with a rose and a heart full of dreams. Some wounds had healed, some scars had become lessons. He had learned that love isn't about being chosen. It's about learning to love yourself even when you're not. As for Maya, she started her own small company, this time building it with empathy, not ego. Though their paths never crossed again, both carried the memory, not as pain but as a reminder of growth. Because sometimes, life doesn't punish us for our mistakes, it teaches us through them. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Heart-Touching Stories.